Good morning, everyone. My name is Nujud Kamal, and my partner is Sheikha Al Ajmi. Today, we will talk about Dorothea Lange. She is an American documentary photographer, and in the next slides, we will talk about her in more details. And in these slides, I will talk about her life. In Hopkins, New Jersey, the most important figure, known as Dorothea Lange, was born in May 26, 1895. The great photographer passed away on October 11, 1965, in San Francisco. While she was alive, she portrays or depicts displaced farmers in the Great Depression, which after that became influenced in documentary and also in journalistic photography. Lang studied photography in a university called Columbia University in New York City. She was a photo session member. The photographer Lang decided that she wants to travel all around the world to make a profit by selling the photographs that she captured. At one stage in her life, Lang ran out of money when she went to San Francisco. She decided to work there in photography studio. And now we will know more about her artistic movements. Dorothea Lange, she is a social realist. Social realism can be considered as an international movement. It is a way displaying an image, filmmaking, paint, and many other things, as a way of showing the everyday world of poor and low-class people. In the Great Depression, Lange started to take a picture of unemployed people who stayed in San Francisco streets. Her works emphasize the desperate condition of people. Also, there is a social issues. Dorothea Lange's photographs the impact on American society of the chaotic depression. Lange's photographs do not just narrate the poverty that people go through, the farm workers, but also stand as testament to support those people. She documents and depicts their situation. She captured the farm work during the Great Depression. Many of farm workers and agricultural families were left without jobs. The Farm Security Government was formed as part of the New Deal to help fight rural poverty during America. Later, the FSA, that stands for Farm Security Administration, established a program that employed photojournalists to go to rural areas and depict the life of the struggling farmers. And the photographer Lang became one of the most successful photographers. They helped the country to see the impact or the consequences of the depression. And also, they challenged agricultural practices. These are some of her photos that she captures. As we can see, all her images are dark to associate and illustrate the great suffer. The first picture, as we can see, is a little girl holding a toy, and she is standing alone with dark eye. Look at this image. It's called the daughter of a migrant fruit worker. The other image is called the white angel red line, and the last one is the three churches.
My name is Sheikha Al Ajmi and I will be continuing with Dorothea Lange. So we have chosen to discuss about Dorothea Lange's migrant mother. In March 1936, the San Francisco newspaper published a photo called The Migrant Mother, which came to symbolize the hunger and the poverty of people, the hopelessness that the people experienced by so many Americans during the Great Depression. And this photograph Lang came across a woman called Florence Owens Thompson and her children in the campsite. The photographer, Dorothea Lange, did not ask the woman about her name or what happened with her. Lang says that the woman came and told her that she was 32 years old and she has two children. They lived on frozen vegetables they collected from the fields and birds that they had been killed. She mentions that she sold the car's tires to buy food for her children. Soon, when the photographs were published in the news of San Francisco, the American government decided that it was sending 20,000 pounds of food to the campsite or the pea-pickers campsite. But when the food came into the campsite, the still anonymous woman has moved on. The woman's image was extensively reprinted. It was reproduced on every magazine and postage stamps, but still no one knows where she had left. So now we're going to take a close look at the photograph, but before that I'm going to discuss the ways that Lange uses to capture an image. The workers who worked with the great photographer Lange says that she has a very unique method or technique to capture the perfect shot. One of her methods is when she wants to capture a photo, she waits for the perfect shot the moment she sees it. If the person who is involved in the image refuses to be in the photograph, she immediately deletes the picture. Lange does not like to take photos until she makes a small conversation with people to make them comfortable with her and agrees to be involved in the image. The other method that she uses is um, if she saw the perfect moment of a shot appears, but the shot is still not there yet, she would go to the people and talk to them, asking them questions like what is happening or how did they got into their condition. The photographer Lange always takes permission to photograph someone. Some people refuses, but some agrees, and people who agrees pause it, but Lange does not take the photograph immediately. She waits until all the members ignores the camera and then take the shot. So in this photograph about the migrant mother, it symbolizes the destitution and the imagination of this poor woman with her two children hoping for a better society or a better world. The colors in the image are dull or muted, it has no life. The shades of black and white adds features of aging and more noticeable flaws in the image. We can see that the woman has wrinkled and weathered skin, and it is clearly portrayed in the image. The woman is looking away from the camera as if she hopes for someone or somebody to come and help her in her Great Depression or the situation that she's on. The shot of the photograph shows the two children hiding their faces on their mother's shoulder. They are hiding their faces from the community and because of their great suffrage that they are going through. So is Dorothea Lange relevant today? People knows Dorothea Lange for her most famous image, the migrant mother that we discussed earlier. It is hard to imagine the landscape of modern documentary photography without the important and courageous, principled presence of Dorothea Lange. She is still most famous image maker in today's modern world. She documented the most chaotic and turbulent political and cultural ideas by capturing hunger, suffer that people goes through, and the tiredness and the Great Depression in American history throughout the Japanese internees who were captured unjustly. Lange captures the living condition that people goes through, and this is an important point because she wants to inspire people who goes through the same path. She wanted to help people who also starving around the world. We came to the end of the presentation, so to summarize, we talked about Dorothea Lange's life, the artistic movements, the social issues, and Dorothea's artwork. We have discussed the migrant mother and also took a close look at the image, and we talked about how relevant is she in today's society. Now for questions. What type of artist was she? And what was she famous for? The second question, which were the subjects of her photographs, and what did her photos portray? The third and last question, what was her famous or most famous artwork? Thank you everyone, and these are our references.